What's shakin' bacons? Last week on Patreon, I wrote a little bit about a very popular topic that I've been seeing crop up more and more on YouTube and Twitch and with different streamers and online personalities in general, which is burnout. And that made me think about the impact that it has on big YouTubers and streamers. Honestly, just even writing and thinking about this made me extremely grateful to be where I am. And that is as a small creator. Now, don't get me wrong, I think everyone's dream is to end up being successful at whatever they do. And I would love to be able to do this as a full-time job because I've discovered a really true and deep passion for editing and for making videos and for sharing with you guys and interacting with you, and I would love for this to be my full-time job. But watching what's happening to these people is making me really grateful to be where I am and not to be just a behemoth on YouTube or on Twitch like that. And I was thinking about it and I was like, I think there's like 5 main reasons why I'm happy to be a smaller creator. And I didn't try and pick 5 as like a catchy number. You guys will probably know that I love notebooks and writing and journaling, and I'm working on writing a book. I write down my schedule for the day because I work 3 jobs. So you guys know that I love to write things. So I was like writing down why I like being a small creator. It ended up being 5. So I didn't plan that. It was just a handy dandy number that occurred.
Nice.
So I thought I would just make a quick video and talk about the main reasons why I am grateful to be a smaller YouTuber. And the first one, which I don't want anybody to think that this is corny or cliche, but it's honestly you guys. I see so many YouTubers put out videos where they're just angry at their communities and they're like,
can you please stop giving me a hard time? Can you guys be nice? Can you please be more positive?
It makes me so grateful for you guys because I feel like the community that we have around this channel and on Patreon and on Twitch is just so nice.
Nice.
Like, you guys are always up for debate and you guys are always wanting to talk about new things and introduce new topics, and you make me see different sides of topics that I hadn't even thought about or contemplated. It's such a great community, I feel, and I'm so grateful for you guys. I want you to know I really mean it. Like, the community here is just so overwhelmingly positive, and because it is, and I do read all of the comments, which is not always the best idea because I've received some pretty intensely violent comments that are very disheartening. I'm just gonna be real. Most of them I can kind of brush off, but some of them have been incredibly violent, which is unfortunate. But overall, because I read the comments and I like to engage with you guys, I remember you. If you comment regularly on my videos or you have a really good point, I remember you and I actually do look for your comments on future videos. Not because I feel like you owe me a comment, because you don't, but because I appreciate that and I enjoy reading and seeing what you have to say and interacting with you. And I had to stop doing Twitch temporarily because my life just got so insane with my full-time job that I wasn't able to make the time for it consistently anymore. And I miss so much being able to interact even more with you because those of you who joined my community on Twitch, I consider you as friends. I honestly do. And I don't care if people think that's cheesy. I really do consider you as friends. And I recognize all of you who comment. It makes me feel like this is worth doing just because I get to meet and interact with you guys. And that's something I see larger creators don't have as much, and larger creators, I feel people start to get lost in like the swamp of comments, and I'm just so grateful that I'm able to connect with you like this, that for me this is like the #1 reason that I am glad that I am not a huge creator on YouTube. And the second reason is creativity. I feel like with you guys being more of a tighter community and there's less scrutiny and there's less pressure to always produce a certain kind of content, I see other creators that they feel like they get pigeonholed almost into only playing a certain game or only talking about a certain topic. And you guys are so engaging and full of feedback and positivity that I feel like I can be a little more creative and I can test ideas with you guys and I can talk about other things sometimes, and you have really good feedback and responses to it. It lets me kind of exercise mentally my creative juices. That sounds kind of gross. I'm not gonna lie, creative juices sounds kind of gross. But I also get to try, editing and new styles, and I get to try different things and experiment. And you guys are very good at giving me positive feedback and responding to that. That is a leeway that I feel like as you grow tends to get lost due to public expectations. And I'm really happy that I can do that right now. Another thing that's great about being a smaller creator is that there's way less drama. I don't know what other people are doing that they're getting involved in drama, but it seems like there's not a day that goes by where some streamer or some YouTuber isn't somehow involved in some kind of drama. As a person, I don't have the time or the energy to care about that kind of thing. And I don't know how, but it seems to go hand in hand with bigger YouTubers. Just as you gain an audience size, you gain the drama somehow. I'm not a person that plays games. I'm very honest. People who I interact with in person are often surprised by that because I am a very, very blunt person, to the point where I admit I can be tactless at times. But I feel like you should always know where you stand with someone, and that's just my personality. And the idea of the behind the scenes cattiness or drama or he said, she said, they said, we said, just to me, it seems so stressful, and I'm just glad that it's not something that I have to deal with. The fourth reason I'm glad to be a smaller creator is because there are less eyes on me. There are less issues with content claims. Granted, I have experienced issues with content claiming in the past, but I see people struggle with their videos getting flagged because someone didn't like what they said, or a studio doesn't like the review that you gave, sort of like what happened to me with my Pacific Rim Uprising review when that got claimed even though I didn't use any content. That issue for me has dramatically dropped off, knock on wood, because I've made sure, actually one of my patrons made a suggestion to put a disclaimer for copyright in the video itself, not just in the description, explaining that I know about fair use, I'm using this according to the terms legally of fair use, etc. But a large part of that is because I don't have an insanely huge audience, and I'm not getting the kind of views or attention that would make someone, whether it's an individual or a company, want to claim my videos, because there's not a lot for them to gain off of that video. Whereas I think a really good example would be Pewdiepie used a meme in one of his meme reviews, and it got claimed by the studio that owned the character that was in the meme that was up for like probably not even 5 seconds. And that just is such a headache to deal with, and just the legality of it. And when you're that big, you rely oftentimes on YouTube for your income unless you're smart enough to diversify. The headache of having to worry about where my rent or where my bills or where my whatever is going to come from is not hinged on content claiming. And that's something that I'm happy I don't need to worry about. And I think the last reason, which is directly related to what I wrote about last week in my Patreon article, is that there's way less burnout and there's way less pressure. And last week I wrote about the fact that I was also feeling some kind of burnout. And I think it's inevitable if you are pushing yourself and spreading yourself thin the way that I was, which I talked about in that article, things are going to start slipping through the cracks. And one of the biggest things that starts slipping is your health. And my health was definitely slipping, and I took it under control and everything is fine now. The larger you get, I think, on any kind of public sphere, whether it's YouTube or whether it's Twitch, whether it's Twitter, whether you have an insanely large podcast, whether you're a comedian, whether you're a graphic artist, it doesn't matter. I think the larger you get and the more attention you get, the more stress comes with that, because the more people are looking at you. There is, to a great extent, a lot of freedom in being anonymous. And as you start putting yourself out publicly, that anonymity begins to leave. And in some cases, the larger you get, it's completely gone. I don't have to deal with that where I am right now. It's very freeing in many ways from the levels of stress that I watch other people get consumed by. And in some ways, it's good because starting smaller, I feel, on YouTube lets you learn how to handle and cope with that stress, and you get to know your limits very early on. And then if you do continue to grow and you do continue to enjoy what you're doing, it's important for you to manage that stress, because I feel like a lot of larger creators end up hating what they're doing. That is because of the stress that they find themselves under, because they don't know how to handle it, or they learn that they need to handle it too late. I really like doing this, and I'm glad that I've learned this lesson early on, my growth has given me time to adjust to that and make sure that I'm delivering something that is the highest quality that I can provide while I continue to learn how to improve. I think that if I had a viral video that got me like 1 million followers overnight, I would be plunged into the deep end, if you will, and I wouldn't know how to handle it. And I think that is something that is very, very positive, and it's a benefit of being a smaller creator on YouTube or on Twitch or wherever you want to show your work. Those are the main reasons why I really enjoy being a smaller creator. Like I said, I would love to continue to grow. This would be an amazing full-time job for me, you know, or even just being able to drop to part-time at my job so I could get back to doing Twitch, so I could do more videos. I think that would be amazing. Primarily because, like I said, I like connecting with you guys. I didn't realize how much I would enjoy just reaching out and connecting with other people, especially you. So I want to thank you all for supporting me and for joining this community and for making this worthwhile. It means a lot. I'm not gonna get emotional. I'm fine. But anyway, I just wanted to say thank you again so much for supporting me, and especially to my Patreon supporters, because you guys encourage me more than I can really express. It means a lot, and I want you guys to see how much it means to me and that I am actively trying to produce more and better content for you. I really appreciate your support. That's my thoughts on being a small creator. I love you all. I hope you are doing amazingly and having a wonderful day, and I will catch you later.